Yeah, man, today I'm gonna be reacting to a Rev Says Des video. I haven't reacted to his videos, but I have seen some of his other stuff before through other reactors, other YouTubes, and just from his account in general. Just really interesting stuff. Most of it's controversial-ish to a certain audience, I guess. But yeah, I chose this one. I haven't seen it. It was like 2 weeks ago at the time of this recording, so it's related just because I'll explain later as he's gonna maybe talk into it. So yeah, this one's titled Azur Lane forced to remove multiple outfits to comply with Google censorship requirements. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So if you've been following this channel for some time, you've probably noticed a concerning and growing trend where a lot of powerful entities are using their influence to censor what they consider morally problematic artwork, in particular those being produced on Japanese platforms and by anyone making anime-styled artwork. Now,
I think the MasterCard and the Visa also stop payments on certain Japanese stuff as well, even though they're usually is tame, right? Because I think at the time of this recording, I think the latest one I've heard was like a branch of the Nico Nico stuff that they had to shut down because of those credit cards not accepting payments or blocking payments for that place. So yeah, it's a thing. Plus the whole thing related to DEI and games, and that's a whole nother issue.
we've seen the usual suspects like Chase and MasterCard threaten to pull their payment services from various platforms and services because they find certain artwork problematic, and it leaves the target with a get down or lay down situation where either they have to self-censor and lose the respect of the people frequenting their service or products and then keep the payment service, or they say F you to these people, lose their payment service, and pretty much lose their monetization and eventually probably shut down. And
because like as much as they do want to showcase their art and without censoring, they also do have to make money. So it's finding that balance, right? Because you don't want to get those companies mad, or maybe you do and have some sort of backup plan. I don't know. I don't run one of those companies, and yeah, I just don't want to deal with that whole credit card stuff. It seems like a mess.
Their payment service and pretty much lose their monetization and eventually probably shut down. And we're seeing this happen once again with the Google Play Store, and that's not too surprising to see Google trying to censor anything like this. And the latest target is, of course, Azur Lane. Here's the headline saying Azur Lane is being forced to remove multiple outfits to comply with Google's censorship requirements. Here is the post from the official Azur Lane Twitter account, and there's a lot of things going on here, especially a lot of very confusing things that we'll break down, but let's start here. Dear Commander, HQ regrets to inform you that due to unforeseen circumstances related to the Google Play Store policy, we will be ending the sale of certain outfits. The following outfits will be removed from sale in the outfit shop on all servers after January 4th, so basically it's this has already been completed, but there's going to be a little caveat to that in a second. We're going to talk about it, but first, here's a list of the outfits that are being affected by this change, and to give you an example,
I guess L2D is is an outfit type. I don't think I've played Azur Lane. I'll have to check my channel, but I think I played it. I don't remember if I played it or not, honestly, but yeah, like the Google Play Store policy is, I don't know how, maybe it's not too popular. I don't know, because I do have a gaming YouTube channel, which is Andy Plays All Night. I do from time to time play mobile games based off the ads I've seen on social media. Most of them usually are, the ads are very, very targeted to a specific type of audience. So, I mean, I guess maybe because I checked out one to try out for the channel, more keep popping up, and the more I try, the more they target me, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, there's the Google Play Store. I mean, I haven't seen the outfits yet, so I don't know how bad they are, but there are some games I played where it says they are rated E or rated T, and they have outfits that are clearly not rated E or rated T. And I believe in like 2 or 3 cases, they just straight out show full on action, almost uncensored, like top part showing, bottom part censored, that kind of stuff. So I mean, obviously I'm not showing that on the YouTube, so I had to censor that myself. But yeah, they allowed that. Like, I don't know how the early access stuff works, but yeah, they allowed that, which was wild. And they're censoring this. Seems weird. Because, like, I want to state this, that I don't have an issue with those types of games. I don't mind playing those types of games if it's fun. Like, I have no issue with that. My issue is just that the way it's rated, because you don't want, or I personally don't want, like, an X-rated adult game rated E. that just seems like common sense to me, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. I don't mind those types of games as long as, like, properly rated. The ones I played are almost always aren't properly rated. So yeah. Let's see.
Example.
Let's see what
here's
the
one
issues
of
are.
them. Okay, like, my goodness, I can't
trust YouTube with this. I mean, if it's just cleavage, I don't see what's wrong with that. Depending on what the game is rated, right? How revealing it is versus if it's like E, T, M, I don't know. So it looks like a game I haven't played before. Like, the name seems familiar. I thought I played it, but I don't think I probably would have like remembered it. But
believe it, a big tittied anime girl in a bikini in a gacha game? I can't believe this. It's so ridiculous because in Azur Lane itself, there are way looter outfits than this that are not being touched, and there's also way looter outfits in other gacha games that are not being cracked down. Like,
I mean, in other games, yes, definitely 100% true. Should I play this as like a one-off? I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen ads for this, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Like Azur Lane right now, and what's even weirder is that outfit.
Also, like, isn't like games like Nikkei very revealing? Like, from what I remember from when I played, there's also like Destiny Child. There's also like a game recently I played, I forgot the name of. There's a lot of ones. Some of them appropriately rated, some of them not, that have very revealing stuff. And also, I've been told that at least one that I played is an edited version of an adult game. So there's that.
Has been out for years. So why is it all of a sudden such a big problem that it needs to be affected by these changes? But the way these outfits are being affected is also very confusing based on this right here. So Commander who have purchased these outfits before January 4th will not be affected. You will continue to have full ownership of these outfits. Additionally, eventually this event and yada, yada, yada. So what they're saying is if you purchased this outfit before this deadline that just passed, you get to keep it totally unaffected, which the tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist says, maybe this was the greatest marketing ploy of all time to make people feel like these outfits were going away, so they would be compelled to buy it right now. But
I mean, that's one way to market it, but I don't think like that's been the case with other. That's been the case with other stuff that they had to like, not this game in particular, but other games that have to remove due to other stuff, whether it be a time limited thing, controversy, stuff like that. I think for me, in my experience, more often than not, the things you buy that they take away the right to buy at a future date, you still get to keep personally, but you just can't buy them anymore. But I don't think they're going, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a game that took away something from your actual inventory after you paid for it, but other than like the game shutting down and like people not being able to log in, stuff like that, I don't recall one, like, to the top of my head. I can't recall one where they just take the item away. It's just usually they just take away the right to buy it.
In reality, you have Google making some very weird decisions here.
Also, Google's
and
being Google
again,
too.
how do you really deal with the fact that this outfit is so problematic? These series of outfits are so problematic that they can no longer be available for sale, but they can still exist in the game for people who already have them. That doesn't make any sense, right? But also on top of that, people are starting to ask, like, who is responsible for all of this?
I'm also
and
wondering that.
There's been several different claims, but this one is claiming that this was a Google takedown request, which usually involves a specific report from someone towards the app directly. So like in this case, maybe Timmy was running up his mom's credit card on Azur Lane. She finds out what it's being spent towards her credit card, and she finds out it's being spent on these impure Chinese cartoons, and now she wants to speak to the manager essentially. And then
it was like similar to how Balatro, how you pronounce that, was like temporarily marked as like an adult's game because of quote unquote gambling themes, right? I mean, they fixed it eventually, but I think for a short while it was like something that you can't really buy off mobile. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. There was like a short period where it was through some sort of entity that marked the game as gambling, so not a lot of places would let you buy it.
Google reviewed it and started punishing Azur Lane. And whether or not it is Google going off on their own volition to target Azur Lane or they're responding to complaints about the game, either way, it's a bad situation where censorship is affecting the ability to make art. And that is not a good thing. And whether, I say this all the time, whether it's some Puritan or someone who's woke, they all can agree on one thing, and that is their hatred of anything anime styled. Anything that looks like an anime girl, they want it censored, they want it banned, just because they find it personally problematic. Instead of just...
As opposed to those very revealing male characters, right? They're fine with those. It's just once those characters have most likely bigger breasts than them, oh, they shouldn't play those types of games.
Avoiding something that they don't like, they want it completely removed. And woke people and Puritans, they agree on that. They'll weaponize censorship to target something they don't like artistically. But anyways,
sounds right.
Here's some of the responses. The most liked reply saying, I am sure this may fall on deaf ears, but as a customer since 2017, I have started to see a concerning amount of censorship from the West. We want Azur Lane to be able to express to gamers as you see fit. I am
like wasn't even the Dragon Quest remakes didn't they show like part of that being censored and stuff like that? What other ones? I want to say Legacy of Kain, but I'm not 100% sure on that one as well. There's just some weird decisions made by weird people, right? I mean, sure, in the minuscule cases that it might be a dated thing, but I don't think that I really don't think that it should be like censored. But I mean, just like redo it. No, not redo it. No, I misspoke there, but they should just bring it how it is. Like, if they were able to sell, like in terms of Dragon Quest, I don't know if they sold like an updated. Is that the right term? I don't know if they sold a like an updated for modern systems version, like how Square Enix did the, like for example, Final Fantasy VI. I know they released a version on Steam before they released the remastered version. I don't know if they did it on other places for like the Dragon Quest stuff, but
create your own launcher or something to not be tied down to these censorship policies. Now that is a very good point.
Oh, is that why like Sternova has their own launcher? I mean, it's on Steam as well, but
something I've been dumbfounded by for many years.
Also, like Girls Frontline 2.
Popular gacha games like Azur Lane have a PC client or have their own launcher.
Nikke has their own launcher too.
Absolutely, I just don't get it.
Like the more I think about it, there's a lot of games that have their own launcher.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just totally out of the know, but there's no way that a cost benefit analysis of having a PC client does not work in favor of actually having it. There's just no way. They're missing out on a lot of additional customers and exposure because it'll be easier to stream the game. It's just a very weird decision and something that I just don't get.
With
But
a lot of
anyways, on
companies
top
having
of that,
PC launchers
we're
as
seeing this whole
well.
part about trying to avoid these censorship policies, and that is one way to do that, right? It's not foolproof, but it's one way to avoid having to basically live at the whim of the Google Play Store. And this is the dramatic soapbox moment.
I mean, they do allow a lot of stuff. I don't know if they changed it now, but years ago, they used to sell those like $1,000 apps that was basically a diamond that may or may not be leaking your information to other parties. I allegedly, I don't know, and usually Google would. I don't know if it's through the choice of the developer or what, but they would discount those apps sometimes as free, so people would download them. So, yeah. I don't know if they do it now. I don't bother to check.
But I can't imagine if Azur Lane came out with a different approach to this and said, you know what, the Google Play Store is trying to censor us. We're tired of it. We're going to create our own launcher and basically say F you. People would go crazy. It'd be viewed as unbelievably based, and people would go crazy supporting Azur Lane. Applaud.
I mean, people will support it without a question, but to go off the app stores completely, I don't think that's that's not, because more people would use the app store just innately rather than taking the time to get a launcher. I know there's a good chunk of people that would just get the launcher, but there's a like the mobile market is massive, so I don't think just switching it entirely to a launcher is. I think they should just play all avenues and see how it works out, stuff like that. But
them as they make that decision, but of course it's a very risky one, and I don't think a lot of these companies want to go anywhere else other than the Google Play Store, and that's just unfortunately the way it is. But there's some other discussions about this where people are saying the rating system is a bit of an issue. That
so there's a bunch of skins because the Google Play age rating. Oh, that's a different
the age of
thing.
this, by the way, the age rating is T for teen. Azur Lane is T for teen, which should surprise you because it's your big titty waifu gacha game. Like it definitely should.
So like I've seen, like most of the games I played on my channel are rated T. Some of them I would agree with that it's a rated T game. Other like Cleavage, I believe it's fine for a T game. Personally, I mean I'm not on the rating board, so who am I to judge, right? But there are some that are just, I feel like they should be M rated based off the ones that I played. Some even higher than M. So
be 17 plus or M for mature, what have you. And it is T for teen, but that is what makes this even more confusing, because as a kind of a logical extension here, if Google, the Google Play Store looked at Azur Lane and said these outfits are so bad they gotta go entirely.
Yeah, why not the other apps?
They're saying in effect everything else is fine. And not only is it fine to exist on their platform, it's fine for a T for teen rated game, which is even more confusing. And also it just shows that the rating system is just completely busted. I think everyone knows that, right? There's games like Azur Lane that are T for teen, and they're doing that because they don't want to be labeled as M for mature, because they're not going to get pushed out the same way as if they are T for teen. And that's another weird effect of censorship by Google, that these companies are trying to lower their rating as much as they can to basically survive on
I don't think that age rating is censorship per se, but it's just trying to classify what your game is. But that being said, it should have some guidelines and not just be like, oh, this is T, that's M, even though those two games could be completely identical. Like, there should be some guidelines about that. I don't think it's just censorship. It's just, I mean, that's why I don't know why the ESRB exists, like, originally, but like, it's meant to be as like a guide to see what to like classify the games. I don't think it's censorship.
Platform and be treated better than they would if they were labeled as mature. And we've seen other companies have to deal with this whole situation of censorship from Google. We saw Blue Archive have to do the same thing
Blue Archive,
to
that's the one I played
satisfy
up before.
Google's censors by releasing basically 2 versions of the game, an all ages version as well as a 17 plus version, which again shows how ridiculous this whole system is, because Blue Archive is way more tame than Azur Lane.
Yeah, I don't remember saying like Blue Archive was out of line at all. Like I remember enjoying it from the time I played. I don't remember much from it, but I do remember that I enjoyed it, I think.
One that has to have a 17 plus version. It's all very confusing, and it really shows that these rating systems are just completely busted, and all you have is these companies, and primarily ones from East Asia, trying everything in their power to navigate the censorship of the Google Play Store and having to strategize their ratings and how they approach things just to basically have their product exist on a platform that is
like it's not related to like censorship, but it is related to the Play Store in that there's a lot of copyright infringing stuff as well. So I don't know how they do the policing. Like there's some stuff I played, stuff I've seen people play that could be very, very questionable. Like one I played had anime, like it had like Naruto characters, it had League of Legends characters, it had like other characters from other IPs all in one game, and I'm pretty sure that they didn't have the rights to that. So I mean, much less charge people for in-game cash for that as well. So, and then there's also games I play that are just like I don't know how they're gonna, but like the audio levels in some of these games I played are just not balanced, and it hurts my ears when I play them sometimes, because you're trying to like the music's like playing fine and all, sound effects playing fine. Once you get into the battle, the sound effects for the attacks are like cranked up 300%, so it's like super loud. I'm going on a tangent here.
An area where they can sell what they're making, and it's really frustrating. And now, because of situations like this, and a lot of other Western outrage over gacha games and other East Asian games, we're seeing a lot of these gacha games starting to self-censor, especially on social media, and it's a very disturbing trend. We've seen this with other examples, but Brown Dust 2 did something like this, where they released this trailer. I can't really play anything. This is as good as it's going to get. They have their name, their logo here, blocking.
I mean, I've seen they've done this with ads as well, not just for this one, but I've seen ads that do this. They like use like white smoke to cover up stuff, even though it's completely tame. I don't know if it's because of censorship or if they did testing and it attracts the clicks more if they censor it like that. I'm not sure.
Out all of any bit of skin on this trailer or on this preview here, and the Japanese version uploaded to their Japanese account is completely uncensored. Oh, so they are looking at the way people on the Western side of social media have been acting, and they're saying, well, we don't want to piss off those people. So clearly their outrage constantly about fan service and things like that is what they like over there. So we're going to self-censor to try to keep them happy, which is a very disappointing thing to see, that these companies feel like either A, through the pressure of services like the Google Play Store, have to self-censor to avoid getting in trouble with them, or B, they have to self-censor to avoid...
It's weird, though, because some don't, and they don't get in trouble. It's like, I don't know, because I want to believe that the Azur Lane stuff is because of the reports. But even then, if it's being reported, but they should have like a manual review or something like that. I don't know, because there's a lot of teen rated games that are just like that and worse. Like I said before,
outrage or pissing people off on social media on the Western side. It's very, very disappointing. It's like the absolute state of everything going on. And on top of this, like looking back at this whole situation with Azur Lane, you can't even have an honest conversation about these things, and it's pretty disappointing. That's just the way Twitter and social media is right now. If you made a tweet right now saying something along the lines of, the Azur Lane situation is very concerning. I don't really care about the fan service, but I just don't think this game should be censored to satisfy these moral concerns.
You know, someone out there is gonna be offended at something. You can, like, there was people that were just outraged over Mouthwashing's fan art that was fully clothed. It was like they thought that was too lewd. It's like it's going on Twitter and judging the outrage was is not a good it's not a good testing, a litmus test, so to say.
From a bunch of weirdos, whether it's individual level or on a big level like at Google or with these payment processors. And I think we just should avoid
a whole nother issue
playing
too.
These games we don't like instead of censoring them. Censorship is bad, actually. If you made a tweet like that, you'd probably get death threats within the first hour. Because people just are so unhinged when it comes to these related topics, especially Azur Lane. We've talked about Azur Lane on both channels before. People going absolutely insane, threatening the developers because they make fan servicey games and outfits. And it's exactly what they're there for. Like, no one's surprised that the gacha game has a lot of fan service. But instead of just doing something else with their time, avoiding the thing they don't like, both woke people and Puritans decide they want everything censored. And it's ridiculous. It's really childish and it's narcissistic. Their world has to revolve around them. Because if they can't get their way, they want it removed for everyone else as well. And like I said, this is a very troubling trend here that's only getting worse. And it's something you can't even talk about. You can't even talk about censorship being weaponized like this, being a bad thing, without people just dismissing everything you say because they're like, oh, you're playing the Gooner game over here, and you basically relinquished all of your human rights, and we can treat you any way we want because we're the morally superior ones. It's just
like, in a way, it outs them as well too for those that want censorship. Because, like I said, with the mouth washing stuff, it's just like the ones that they out themselves for complaining that a fully clothed person is too, like, they even say like it's like too sexy and stuff like that. It's just like, is it really? Like, it's they're fully clothed. Like, what? That's why, like, I don't really take too much into factor when it comes like Twitter arguments. It's just like they're just there to like probably rage bait and get a response. So censorship is bad still, but the Google Play Store's lack of consistency, it's very annoying. But I mean, if I still see ads for stuff that is quite questionable, I'll still play it on my gaming channel from time to time if it's heavily advertised. Because, like, sometimes it's advertised one way, like very revealing, questionable stuff that you can do in game, and then once you play it, it's just a very boring game that's appropriately rated, and all the questionable stuff is just in the ads. So it is what it is, I guess.
It's an annoying cycle to see, and now Azur Lane is suffering as a result of it. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, that was my first rev video for this channel, I guess. Like I said, I've seen so much stuff before it. I mean, I like it, and always links in the description for the original video. So yeah, I just have too much, I don't say too much, I just have experience with playing all sorts of types of games from the Google Play Store. It's just, it is censorship, but I don't think, well, I mean, yeah, Google is telling them to more or less remove this stuff, but I don't think it was their choice. I want to believe it's because of the reports, but then it should have just been like manually checked as well, stuff like that, because I mean, it sets a precedence either way, right? Either you say teen rated games should not have this and that, versus leaving it alone, which is saying that you're fine with teen rated games having this and that. So like, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work with this type of climate we have in the West. But like I said, I don't mind it. I play some of it myself. I just want it better rated, because I don't want to see like a rated E, rated teen game having full on action going on with a lot of white stuff, right? To put it safely. Yeah, that video was censored on YouTube, which is weird. Because, like, my argument is that if they rated it T for teen, it should be fine to put on YouTube, right? But I know personally that if I put that video up uncensored, it would get struck down within seconds. So, yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed it. I rambled usually. So, yeah, until next time, thank you for watching and have a nice day.